Never going to be something that I ever will get high or low about, It just doesn't exist with me. I never played against Oscar Robertson or Jerry West. Would have loved to. Absolutely love to. Just as competitive as I am. And I actually learned from them, and we, paved the road to the Kobes and the LeBrons, right?
Michael Jordan usually stays away from this debate. He does not run to podcasts. He does not answer every hot take. He does not sit online arguing with fans about rings, stats, eras, or who played against tougher competition. Most of the time, Jordan lets other people fight over his name while he stays quiet. But when the LeBron conversation starts making it sound like Jordan's era was Yeezy, or like the players after him somehow erased what he built, MJ's answer hits different. He does not sound angry. He does not sound insecure. He sounds like a man who knows exactly what he did, and because of that, he does not have to beg anyone to respect it. And the disrespect was not just people saying LeBron is great. LeBron is great. That part is not the issue. The disrespect is when people start acting like Jordan's path was easier, his era was weaker, and his 6 rings somehow need to be explained away like they were not earned the hard way. That is the part people miss. This was not Jordan attacking LeBron by name. It was colder than that. He answered the whole debate by reminding people that greatness does not begin with the newest argument. He is actually doing the opposite of what most fans expect. He says he never played against Oscar Robertson or Jerry West, so he cannot sit there and act like he personally beat every legend from every era. That is a real answer. It is not forced humility. It is not fake respect. Jordan understands that basketball did not start with him, and it did not end with him either.
After a previous player has evolved the game further. But don't then, in essence, this is where I look at it, don't then now use that against the player that actually taught you the game or that you learned from.
But that is also where his message cuts deep. If the old players helped build the road, then you cannot turn around and use the new players to disrespect them. You cannot say the game evolved and then act like the players who came before were simple, weak, or lucky. Jordan is basically saying, praise LeBron, praise Kobe, praise today's stars, but do not use them to erase the people they learned from. That is why this whole LeBron comparison keeps getting messy. LeBron's career is unbelievable. Nobody can deny that. He has the numbers, the longevity, the all-time scoring record, and more than 20 years of elite basketball. He has played through different eras, different teammates, different coaches, and different expectations. That deserves respect. But when his case gets built by making Jordan's era look smaller, fans push back. Because Jordan did not play in some soft, easy league. He played in a league where every drive came with contact, every playoff series felt personal, and teams were allowed to hit you in ways that would be called flagrant today. That is why Jordan's respect for older legends matters. He is not saying the past was better just because it was the past. He is saying every era had its own problems, its own rules, its own pressure, and its own monsters. So if you're going to compare players, at least compare them with respect. Don't pretend one era had no skill, no defense, no athletes, and no pressure just because the game looks different now.
Michael, get it pulled for the fresh shot clock. MJ. He did it! Michael shakes the finger. Jordan. A spectacular move by Michael Jordan.
Will calm you down. They'll work their plays. Steal. He kept it in bounds. Here it is again.
The Pistons did not just guard Jordan. They tried to break his rhythm, wear him down, and make him feel every single drive. They hit him, trapped him, pushed him, bumped him, and made every trip to the rim painful. That was not normal defense. That was a whole plan built around punishment. The Jordan rules were not just about stopping a scorer. They were about testing whether Jordan could keep coming back after being hit again and again. But Jordan did not turn that pain into an excuse. He did not say the league was unfair. He did not run from the challenge. He did not ask the Bulls to trade him somewhere easier. He went back, got stronger, trusted the system, and kept coming until Detroit had no answer left. That is one of the biggest reasons older fans defend him so strongly. They watched him lose first. They watched him struggle first. They watched him get physically punished before he became untouchable. That is why his next answer hits so hard, because when Jordan talks about Bird and Magic, he is not just talking about teaming up, he is explaining the mentality of his era. The goal was not to join the mountain, the goal was to climb it, fight it, and eventually stand on top of it.
I think it creates animosity. I have no animosity against today's players, but you do have certain players that do have animosity because of the forgottenness of what their contribution has been to the game of basketball. It is what it is. It is a empty comparison, is it?
That is the difference people keep talking about. LeBron's greatness is built on movement, longevity, and controlling the situation around him. Jordan's greatness is built on staying in one place and turning that place into the center of the basketball world. That does not mean one career has no value. It just means they are not the same story. Jordan lost before he won. He got called a scorer who could not lead a champion. He got beaten by Boston. He got bullied by Detroit. He had to learn how to trust Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and later Dennis Rodman. The Bulls did not become a dynasty overnight. They got embarrassed first. They got pushed around first. They had to grow through failure. Then Jordan took over. That is why the Bird and Magic answer still gets used in the Jordan versus LeBron debate. Jordan was not saying he never needed help. He was saying he never looked at his biggest rivals and thought, let me join them so the road becomes easier. He wanted to beat them. He wanted the Bulls to become strong enough to stand across from the Giants and win. That mentality is why people still separate his story from LeBron's. LeBron changed teams to find better situations. Jordan stayed and forced the situation to become better around him.
I guess that is a pretty fitting end to the ballgame. Jordan, look at that! Holy cow!
That is why the Jordan had help argument sounds weak when people use it like an insult. Of course he had help. Every champion had help. Magic had Kareem. Bird had McHale and Parrish. Kobe had Shaq and Powell. LeBron had Wade, Bosh, Kyrie, Love, and Anthony Davis. Basketball has never been 1-on-5. Nobody wins championships completely alone. The real question is not whether a superstar had help. The real question is what happened when the help arrived. With Jordan, the answer is simple. 6 trips to the finals, 6 wins, 6 finals MVPs, no Game 7 in the finals. That does not happen by accident. That is not just good teammates. That is not just Scottie Pippen. That is a superstar who knew how to finish once the door opened. And the scary thing is, Jordan did it on both ends. He was not just a scorer hunting highlights. He guarded, he pressured, he gambled, he chased, he took matchups personally. If someone talked too much, he remembered. If someone challenged him, he answered. He wanted to beat you, embarrass you, and make sure you remembered it the next time you saw him. That is the part stats cannot fully explain. You can read the numbers, but they do not show the fear he put into teams when the game got tight. That fear is why the Jordan argument keeps surviving every new stat debate, because people who watched him do not just remember the points, they remember the feeling. They remember opponents looking like they knew what was coming, but still could not stop it.
The story concerning Michael Jordan's physical conditions. He is suffering from flu-like symptoms.
Jordan to the crossover. Yes.
Not bad for a guy playing with flu symptoms. And Jordan puts moves on Hornacek. Michael Jordan is back, putting the move on.
This is why Jordan's answer to the GOAT debate feels colder than a direct insult. He does not have to say LeBron is wrong. He does not have to say today's players are overrated. He just reminds people that every era has its own fight, and once you accept that, you cannot pick only the parts that help your argument. You cannot praise modern spacing and ignore 90s physicality. You cannot praise longevity and ignore peak dominance. You cannot praise LeBron's all-time numbers and act like Jordan's perfect finals record is just some old story. Both careers deserve respect, but the standards are different. LeBron's case is built on lasting longer than almost anyone. Jordan's case is built on reaching the top and never letting anyone take the crown once he got there. The flu game is the kind of moment that explains why Jordan's legend feels different. He looked drained. He looked weak. He looked like his body was fighting him the whole night. But when the game needed someone to take control, he still became the answer. That is why these clips keep coming back. They're not just highlights. They are proof of how Jordan handled pressure when everything looked stacked against him. And that final shot in Utah is the cleanest example. Everybody knew the ball was going to Jordan. The Jazz knew it, the fans knew it, the announcers knew it, the whole world knew it, and he still got to his spot.
Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it. Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds. 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Timeout, Utah. 5.2 seconds left. Michael Jordan running on fumes.
That is why the Jordan debate never dies. Because with MJ, it is not only about numbers on a screen, it's about the feeling people still get when those moments play back. The shrug, the flu game, the last shot in Utah, the walk-off ending. Jordan's biggest moments do not feel unfinished. They feel locked. They feel final. There is no missing chapter, no extra excuse, no second chance needed. When the lights were brightest, he did not just survive the moment, he owned it. LeBron's case is different, and it deserves respect. His career is bigger in years, bigger in records, bigger in total weight. Nobody can take away the longevity, the scoring record, the finals runs, and the fact that he stayed great longer than almost anyone in sports history. That kind of career may never be repeated, but Jordan's case hits differently because it's sharper, it's cleaner, it has less explaining to do. Every time someone tries to make his era look weak, every time someone tries to shrink what he did, the same answer comes back on tape. 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, 2 three-peats, no finals Game 7, the last shot, the fear, the standard. That is why Jordan doesn't need to chase every new debate. His legacy doesn't get smaller when people attack it, it gets louder. LeBron can have the records, the longevity, and one of the greatest careers basketball has ever seen, but Jordan still has the one thing every argument keeps running into: the cleanest ending, the sharpest peak, and a standard that still refuses to move. So when people say Jordan destroyed LeBron after the disrespect, it doesn't mean Jordan sat there throwing childish shots. It means he reminded everyone of the one thing the debate keeps forgetting. Greatness is not only about how long you lasted, it's about what happened when the whole world knew the moment was yours. And for Jordan, those moments still speak louder than any argument.